It's time to take a look at my Lee 6-Pack Pro from Mid-South Shooter Supply. Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. KMS Squared just came out with a new UFO press light, the SP, for the Lee 6-Pack. So I reached out to my friends at Mid-South Shooter Supply. This is where you want to get your Lee stuff. They sent me this press. Inline Fabrication sent me a number 95 quick change top plate for my low ultra mount here. This video, we're going to put them all together. So I'm going to unbox the 6-pack. We're going to get it mounted on the ultra mount. We're going to install the UFO SP light. We're going to check it out. I'm going to get going. So here it is. The press is set up. I've loaded ammunition, and I've actually already fired some of that ammunition. Fun stuff. And pretty much everything that I needed was included with the Lee kit, except the actual components to load with, which is great. And Dan over at Inline Fabrication does a great job with his products. This is the low ultra mount. I have the specific plate for the Lee 6-pack. The quick change top plate is separate, and it comes with all the hardware that you're going to need. So there's countersunk screws that come in up from the bottom. You've got your washers, you've got your nylock stop nuts. This is really good stuff, and it just slipped right into place. All the holes lined up absolutely perfectly. I was able to tuck that into the slot up here, and then there's thumb screws. Everything clicks right into place. It's super easy. And in terms of the setup of the press itself, everything comes mostly configured. The shell plate was already on. The primer slider was already in, so I had to add the spring for the primer slider. I installed the dies, which were in the bushings but weren't adjusted, and I used a dummy cartridge that I had that looks about like this. It's a 44 special load in a 44 mag case with a Hornady 240 grain XTP bullet. And then there's the assembly of the powder measure. The powder measure die was already there. You screw the top part into the powder die, and then it's a matter of filling the reservoir and adjusting the load. Do not use this load data information. I'm using 5.2 grains of CFE pistol with a regular large pistol primer. Always double check your load data with at least 2 or 3 OEM sources of load data, like your bullet manufacturer, your powder manufacturer, that kind of thing. If you go to Hodgdon's Reloading Data Center, you're going to find all the reloading data that you're going to need there. And then it was just a matter of validation and getting used to the press. And the first thing I noticed was this is kind of a worst case scenario for pistol. Very tall case, very small powder charge, and I've got previously fired brass. So we've got some carbon residue on the inside. It's not a shiny case interior where it's really easy to distinguish the case from the actual powder charge itself. So I did notice, because I've got the bullet seater set up in station number 6 here, that I can see right down into the case interior, but it's very dark and I can't see. Enter the UFO SP press light. Now I can see very, very clearly the powder charge, and I can see everything very clearly at all stations, as you can see. This is like magic. Okay, so let's now transition to the actual installation of the UFO SP. The UFO SP is going to come with everything that you need. I have a second kit here so that I can show you what's included. You've got the light strip itself. You've got the power adapter, the inline switch. So right here we can just switch it off, not have to unplug it, which is really nice. And then we've got a scuffing pad to scuff up the paint. And then we've got our wire clips, which attach here to this riser. Okay, so the installation is a lot like the other installations that you've seen here, but there's a nice thing about this press, and that's that the tool head is very easily removed. You just remove your springs, you remove your bolts, basically lifts right off, and then you can take off the indexing rod easily as well. And the installation is very simple. I used acetone on blue shop towels and wiped down all of the grease. Then I used the scuffing pad. And what you want to do is kind of dry fit this light strip on the tool head to make sure exactly where you want it and how it's going to align. And I used the included instructions and looked at how they had it oriented and had everything lined up exactly how it was in the picture. So I made sure that I got things done right. There is a split here, so you have a little bit of goofing room to kind of massage the overall orientation of this. Then it's time to remove the adhesive backing and very carefully put it in place and then press down really hard. So hopefully you've got a paint substrate that is scuffed up, it's completely grease-free, and that's going to stick very well. Now, before we put the tool head back on, we have to slide on these 3D printed wire guides here, these clips, down into place because they are completely solid. They're kind of like a complete full circle there. So you can't snap them on afterwards. And actually they have a perfect friction fit, and I know they're not going to go anywhere, which is great. So if you had removed the indexing rod that goes in, tool head goes on. This bushing here actually holds the indexing rod down in place, which is kind of interesting. Then position the wire in the wire guide clips there, and then install the inline switch. Connect your power supply into your wall outlet, and you're good to go. This is a lot of light. The light comes down very evenly, and it's hard to imagine using this press without the light. So go to KMS Squared and check out their press light. The UR10 code is going to save you 10%, so make sure you apply that as well. So why don't we do a quick loading demo? Okay, so quick note before I show you loading on this machine. The Lee 6-pack does come with a case feed system, but I chose not to use it. It's additional setup, and you have to reload the tubes. And it can save you time, but for a demo like this, I chose not to use it. But if you have a Lee Loadmaster or Pro 1000, it's very similar. So each time we go to pull the handle, we're going to do two things. We're going to insert a case in station number 1, and I can see very clearly my powder charge, yes, in station number 6. So we're going to place our bullet there and then go ahead and pull the handle. Okay. Now, like a lot of other presses, the priming is going to happen at the very bottom of the stroke, and you can feel that go in. And the priming system is upgraded. I want to mention this. On a press like the Lee Loadmaster, the primers come down this little tray right into the priming position. And Lee has wisely added a slide bar to separate the priming area where primers can get crushed, primers can get detonated, from this little track and the entire reservoir of primers. So with this press, I can't conceive of how a chain reaction of primers, chain detonation could occur, but with some of the other presses, that is a possibility. Okay, so again, we're going to take a case, put that in station number 1. I've got a powder visual there, put my bullet in station number 6, and you can see things can go quite quickly with this kind of a setup. I'm going to do one more. And with the case feeder, and even with a bullet feeder, which Lee does sell, this could go that much quicker. There we go. We got some 44 special loads rolling. Well, there we go. So what should you do if you want to put this setup together? First, go to Mid-South Shooter Supply to get your Lee presses. Doesn't matter which one, if it's the 6-pack or the other ones, Mid-South Shooter Supply is where you want to go to get it. Second, to mount your press, go to inlinefabrication.com and get your ultra mount, get your accessories. They have a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And then third, you're definitely going to want this UFO SP Light from kmssquared.com. Now, don't forget, UR10 saves you 10%. Go and check out those deals now. I'm off to do more reloading and shooting, so it means it's time to conclude this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.